Hello everyone, and welcome back to some more Prismata. We're going to get started on a new ranked play ticket here, and I did what I suggested a long time ago I might do at some point, which is, since I have a platinum ticket to use here, I thought I'd use it up on a base +5 only run and actually contribute my bonus units. So we should see a fair number of 6s and base +6 and base +7 in this run here. I'll just use up this platinum ticket. And it'll probably take a little bit longer than usual to match, since we're not going to match with people who are only willing to play base +8. But that's okay. Shouldn't be too long, as you can see. Meowth, a decent player, probably stronger than me, but not, you know, one of the gods of the Pantheon. Did I uncheck contribute units? I don't understand. It didn't do the thing. Alright, so this is a new unit you guys haven't seen. It's like 5 red, 1 attack, and you can pay 2 red to do even more attack. It seems like red is obviously a big deal in this set, but I think someone who tries... Like, Smorkus is a pretty good rush unit, but, like, shouldn't Ice Blades beat it if someone tries to rush this out? Ice Blades with Flame Animus, no less? Right? Maybe that's the idea, is you do this to get out the Flame Animus right away. And you do, like, I don't know, build a splitter or a wall or something on the next turn, and then you just, like, start building a couple Ice Blades at a time. Sentinels seem like they would be an okay counter to that. But, I mean, Sentinels aren't great value either. They don't apply enough pressure to get through the Ice Blades, and meanwhile you can freeze stuff. Okay, so not totally sure what he's up to yet. But I have my plan. Although I haven't really fleshed it out by, like, counting what, Yeah, I think I must have unchecked include my bonus unit thingies. Okay, so the question is, what do we do on this turn? This is the interesting one, right? Right now we have, what, 10 drones? Which is more than we need to build an Ice Blade every turn. So I should figure out what to do with the excess tech I'm gonna have. I could drone, or I could build, like, another Flame Animus to just get more attack. Threaten to, like, build a Smorkus at some point, maybe, to, like, come over the top in terms of pressure. Or I could just build a Steel Splitter so that my drones are protected when I start building, or, like, let's say a wall. So my drones are protected when I start building these Ice Blades. If I do either of these things, I'll have $12 per turn, which is inconveniently high. I'd rather have more tech to go with that. Well, okay, I can throw in, like, another Blast Forge, maybe, and then try to start getting 2 Ice Blades per turn. It's gonna be tough. I'll have to, like, build a couple more drones soonish, but it seems like the kind of thing that could happen. So he's getting a lot more drones than I am, but he's behind quite a bit. And I guess his plan is to actually be able to put out multiple Ice Blades per turn, which I can't really do. Right, so I could do this, but then what am I building every turn? Ice Blade Smorkus? I don't have enough red for that. So I could build another drone. I could build an Ice Blade and a wall, I guess, if I do this. Or an Ice Blade and another Flame Animus, and that would let me get a Smorkus at some point if I had, like, 5 red. I don't think another Flame Animus is ever going to happen, though. So this is, like, Ice Blade wall, which is pretty cool, actually, because I will probably want a wall next turn. I'm not sure what he's going to do with his green. Yeah, okay, so he set himself up with 13 drones. So he won't be able to double Ice Blade forever. Interesting. Oh, I built too much tech. I forgot that I was going to have 2 red as well as 2 blue. Ugh, this Blast Forge isn't good. It should have been probably another Flame Animus or something. Well, might as well build that wall, I guess. And just be floating this red forever, which feels pretty stupid. I should have not built a Blast Forge, built like another drone, and built like Ice Blade Rhino. Or something like that. I'm always like, I don't know, I'm not so good at Ice Blades. He has a lot more tech and a lot more drones. Ooh, Reservoir, interesting. So that's sort of... Gosh, this is a lot of tech. Yeah, I think if this second Blast Forge had been another Flame Animus, I'd be threatening a lot more interesting things. But then I couldn't build this wall, so... Like, the wall's pretty important, I think. This Blast Forge definitely sucks. Maybe it could have just been a drone or two. Oh, alright, that was good enough apparently. I was not at all sure that I was winning here, but apparently he thinks I was. I didn't really do anything, right? I just exploited his walls, and... What, exactly? Like, is his problem that he... I guess his issue is he teched up to double blue, double red, but he can't... He doesn't have enough drones to double Ice Blade. And I'm sort of putting on enough pressure that it's hard for him to build Ice Blades without getting his drones breached. I don't know. I feel like I could easily have made enough mistakes for him to win this game. I think the resignation was premature, definitely. But, you know, that's his right. Let's make sure... Yeah, contribute bonus unit cards. At the start of ranked games, contribute 3... It didn't show the animation for it. I don't know what the deal is with that. And we're using the platinum ticket now, right? Is there some way for me to find that out? This looks platinum. I don't know. It's Otter. We've played this guy once before. So here's another new unit I don't think you guys have seen. It's a lot like a Xeno Guardian with 1 less health that costs 1 less blue. Alternatively, it's a Steel Splitter that you pay for with 1 more green and 1 less dollar. And that... Wow, what a set, huh? And that doesn't need... that can both attack and block on the same turn, just like Xeno Guardian can. So this is like, obviously, Deadeye and Manticore are like the big deals here, I think. And given that you're building all the stuff with double blue, Doomed Mech is pretty cool. Do you ever want to pick up green? Player 2 probably will, I think. I don't think as player 1 I'm going to go out of my way for it. What if I just did this? Is this madness? I don't think so. It's... What if I do this and he counters with like Gauss cannons? Am I gonna be happy with that? Am I gonna be sad? I guess I can respond with like a wall, and then I'll be in okay shape. A little bit over-teched, but there's, you know, wall, steel splitter, and then manticores is pretty good. This threatens Deadeyes and like droning behind sort of thing. I'll try it. Now here's where I could stop off for a conduit, actually. Right, I could get the Urban Sentry at some point as a blocker that also makes him build a wall. I expect him... It looks like he wants to build a Steel Splitter. No, he's going to build his own Urban Sentry right now. So I will want some sort of attacker slash blocker, and I guess Urban Sentry is fine in that role. It would have been interesting for him to threaten to build another Gauss cannon here to sort of punish me for not building a prompt defender. So it looks like we're only getting one Deadeye right at the beginning, but that's okay because I can use... Oh no, Manticore is gonna suck, isn't it? Because I'll have this Urban Sentry attacking. I guess it's not that bad. Because like the deal with Manticore is you want to have it as your only attack so that you can use it to deny your opponent absorb, right? But when I have this Urban Sentry that's attacking, it's like not that compelling. So what if I do this? Is this better or worse than getting another, getting a Manticore? This seems better. And I guess I'll put down an Engineer. Because, like, if I don't get a bunch of Deadeyes, my opponent's tech or drone advantage is going to be too big, right? We cut a lot to get out all this stuff. And now, like, these Urban Sentries that he built aren't really doing anything because he's spending all his tech on Deadeyes. But he's also got a lot more drones. Not clear to me who's winning on this one. Maybe these two should have been another Blast Forge so I could build, like... there's nothing I want to do with that, right? I can't build Manticore and Deadeye with just one more blue. Okay, I think we can get one more Deadeye. We're caught up on drones, way behind on attack, but we're gonna soon actually pass him in drones without having to build anymore. Which actually says maybe now is the time to just like build an attacker. Like this. I have 12 drones, he has 14, but he's about to lose more than I am. And I'm transitioning now into building attack, I think. We'll see. I didn't see the contribute bonus unit thing go off at the beginning of this game either. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Is it just like it doesn't show if we happen to not roll extra units? I was looking forward to playing some base plus 6 or 7 or something. Really? No more attackers? Just this one Gauss cannon? Okay, yeah, I was gonna say. Building more drones at this point, after building the Gauss... After cutting drones to build a Gauss cannon doesn't seem like the right idea. Did I forget? No, I last turn I only had 2 attack even if I attacked with the Steel Splitter, so it was completely correct to not attack with it. Okay, so let's build a Doomed Mech here to soak. Not to soak, to absorb. Because he's gonna soon have enough attack that I would rather absorb on Doomed Mech than on Sentry. Right, he's going up to 4 this turn, which is perfect for soaking on Doom Drone starting next turn. I keep saying soak, I don't mean soak. Oh, wait, no, with Nevo Charge, Doom Drone is absolute garbage. I mean, it's not garbage, but it's much worse. I would do better to build, like, almost anything else, probably. Like, let's say, get... Where's Manticore? Here it is. Just Manticore Gauss. And I think I'll have enough engineers without building this, but maybe I won't, because he'll kill this. And if he adds any more attack, I'll want another engineer to defend, and he probably will. So let's just do this. Manticore is not great value if you're just using it as an attacker. Like, it costs 3, which is very little, but it costs 2 blue, which is a lot. Fortunately, this game, we're over-teched, and so units that cost a lot of tech and a small amount of gold are perfect. $13 drones to 9. 9 is not a lot of drones. Yikes. I'm not going to be able to spend all this blue anymore. Maybe I should drone up? That seems pretty silly. I just have to, like, live with the small number of drones that I have and try to put enough pressure on him, I think. Because, like, in terms of attack, he has, what, 5? Which is also what I have. But I'm sort of ahead. I'm attacking for 5 before he is. I wish I had another $1. So I guess I'll... Wait a minute. What if I did this? Is this crazy? It looks pretty crazy. It gives him a wall instead of an engineer, but in exchange, I can build 1 more attacker. I don't know that this is really gonna pay off. But it might. I don't really like... I don't like floating my blue, obviously. But... I don't really like building... Get up there, number 1. I don't like this that much either. It seems like... I don't know. I'll have 2, 5, 7 attack, and he just has 5? Drone counts are similar, but mine's about to start getting lower. I only have $9 next turn. I can only build 1 wall. I think that... I'm not sure what to do. I'd like to make it hard for him to defend his urban sentries in the way that it's soon going to be hard for me to defend mine. Because if he has to lose one of these, a great deal of pressure is released against me. This way I spend all my tech. In exchange, I give him 2 health. I think that's fine. I think it's not great, but it's okay. Should I build an engineer? I would just have $8 if I did this next turn. No, $7. What am I even doing with $7? Like, yikes. Steel splitter? Maybe actually what I should do is this, so that next turn I can build another Manticore to actually continue building attack cheaply. I think this is better. It also gives me more green for force fields in the quite near future. You might even say uncomfortably near is how soon I expect to start having to force field. I mean, it's nice to be able to defend with a Deadeye now, of course, but his drone advantage is gonna start showing through pretty soon. I don't know about that. If I ever get to Nevo that when he wants it to defend... Now, like, you sort of can counter a thing like Nevo by defending before it has lifespan 1, and, like, you get less value out of it that way. But not 0 value. So here's the thing, though. let's say I do this. He's losing wall, both NGs, and soaking onto sentry. So he just barely loses no attackers. Problem is, I do lose an attacker this way, unless I build a wall, which I can do. But I was sort of hoping to build a Manticore here, right? I could double force field Manticore. Seems pretty extreme. What if I attack him for 5? That's not uncomfortable for him. Okay. I might not live long enough for the Nevo to be relevant. He's still got just enough drones that he can defend, that he can spend both of his blue on walls if he wants, or on a doomed mech. I feel like I should build Wall Engineer, which is making me feel bad about this Steel Splitter. Like it should have been an Urban Sentry instead. Suppose that I did this and built 2 force fields to keep everything alive. Actually, hang on. He's probably only attacking for 5, right? He doesn't really want to attack with this doomed mech. Against 5, I could like just hold a drone and build a Manticore and some engineers. This way I get to save my green. He has to actually attack with the doomed mech if he wants to kill an Urban Sentry. Is that really worth it to him? Against that attack, I just keep my drone, I lose an Urban Sentry. I'm gonna try that. Yeah, I mean, so like he can, if he wants, kill an Urban Sentry. But it costs him a lot to do so. I think. Okay. So he's just sort of replacing his Urban Sentry, I think. Oh no, he's not losing one, is he? 4, 7, 8. Yikes. I'm attacking for a lot more, but he's absorbing for 2 more, so not really that. I'm not really pressuring him any more than he's pressuring me, and I have way fewer drones to deal with the problem. 5. He's only really attacking for 6, right? 3, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay, well, I don't know how this is going to end. It doesn't feel great, but I'm going to see what I can do. I'd really love to stay alive for long enough to Nevo charge his doomed mech. I feel like that would make a huge difference. Really? No way. Are you kidding me? Can that be right? Like, obviously, if he wants to, he doesn't have to build any defense this turn. Clearly that's true, right? He can just defend 2 Deadeyes and onto the Doom drone. But is this how you want to spend your money? Shouldn't you just buy like 2 more Urban Sentries? What is he Nevo charging? A wall, I guess. Presumably he's thought this through and it's threatening me somehow. but he's really only attacking for 4, probably. And his freeze is only 3, so that's like 7? I feel like I'm okay to do this, aren't I? He freezes this, and I just lose Deadeye onto Urban Sentry. If he attacks with the Doomed Mech, he can make me lose a little bit more. But I wonder if it's time for me to build any Nevo charges yet. Like, I could build 2 Nevos and a force field or something if I wanted. He's attacking for 6, not 4. 6 attack and freezing this. That's sort of like 9, which does force me to lose 1 Urban Sentry this way. So what if I did this instead? Now he's only really freezing for 2. And attacking for 6. So that's sort of like 8, right? Which is a fine defense. And I think I should build a drone just to let me force field it next turn. But now I can't build walls anymore, which, like, don't get me wrong, that definitely sucks. But he just spent his Nevo charge on a force field, so he can't feel too smart about that. Oh, yeah, right. He has to attack with his Doomed Mech to force me to lose an Urban Sentry, which is fine, I guess. I don't feel like I'm winning in this spot. I feel like, in fact, I'm definitely losing. He just has so many more drones. And I'm not really that far ahead in anything else. My attack is just barely higher than his. But not in any, like, way that matters. So I'd like to, next turn, build a Nevo charge, if I can. How much... Okay, so again, he can absorb perfectly on the Doomed Mech, losing no Urban Sentries. I can't even build the Engineer because I'm going to want to build 2 Force Fields and a Nevo charge next turn. Oof, which I can't do, can I? I don't have enough green. So it's just 1 Force Field and a Nevo charge, in which case I might as well build the Engie? No, I can't do that either. So maybe I should do this. He attacks for 7. I have to lose Sentry Force Field. He has to actually attack for 9 to make me lose the drone. And presuming that he doesn't, I'll have $5 and 4 green to, like, Nevo double Force Field or something. Oh, he's sniping a drone, isn't he? With his Deadeye. So I'll only have 2 drones left. And $4, which is Nevo double Force Field. I guess that's the best I'm going to get out of this. But I think I've lost. Yeah, he can just build like 2 walls if he needs to, which I don't even know that he does. Yeah, I'm only attacking for 7, which he absorbs quite easily. Yeah, this doesn't work at all. Okay, we're just not really attacking him anymore. Is that what's happening? Did I build the Neva charge at the wrong time? No, I built it at the right time. This is when he would like to hold it back. We're making him, in quotes, attack. But, yeah, alright. Okay. I didn't need to stick around this long. So what happened here? He got a lot more drones, and I went for the much earlier Deadeye. I think that it was not right to cut so many drones so early for Deadeyes. I think that that's just like in general wrong, and I should know better. Hang on. Base +5. Contribute bonus cards. Should say somewhere there's a platinum ticket. Yeah, okay. I don't understand what's happening. We aren't seeing the thing, but I'll try and get a 3rd game in here today. Anyway, Deadeyes are sort of like causing your opponent to not build a drone for a few turns. Or if they are droning, it's taking away 1 from the number of drones they're building. And if they're not droning, it's removing a drone. And you get 3 drones worth of value out of a Deadeye, which is nice, but not like gigantic. I denied myself much more than just 3 drones by committing to all of that tech so early. Still not seeing the dancy thing. I don't know. What's this all about? Weird set. Galvani. What even do you attack with? Like Tarsiers, I guess. I don't think cluster bolts are good enough even with like synthesizer in the set. So I think it's just like red-blue with Blood Rager and Galvani drones. Okay, well, I guess that's what I'll try to do. And maybe it'll be nice to pick up a... Really? Green. Maybe it'll be nice to pick up a synth at some point. I feel like maybe he should have cut this and built an Animus. Cut a drone. Like, I don't know, is he gonna try to cluster bolt me? I should be prepared for that. Is 12 drones enough? 12 drones feels a little light, but I guess with these guys counting sort of as extra drones, it's fine. I guess I can do this. And that way I still have a little energy left to drone if I need to. Next turn is like Tarsier, Rhino, Blast Forge. And then Blood Rager. Tarsier, Rhino, Blast Forge is 14, which is what I have. Okay. Okay, so he's going everything. I don't know what that means exactly. Blood Rager is a little bit weaker with Galvani's around, I guess, because there's something to spend your attack on. There's other ways to deny absorb. But on the other hand, it's sort of, if your opponent builds too many Galvanis, you can get more, you can get Blood Rager value for longer. By like, say you have 4 attack, you can spend 3 on a Blood Rager and 1 on a Galvani. So, I don't know. Okay, clusters, yeah. So that's the idea with the synthesizer. Is that really worth it? Maybe. I might have to hold some drones. Which makes it look kind of worth it to me. On the other hand, like, I got to build what I wanted, right? Should this be an engineer or a Galvani drone? If I build engineer, he'll kill a Galvani with one of his attack. Hang on. Oh! I have one attack left over because he gave me a cluster kit, cluster gas charge. So what I prophesized is coming true, right? I had 4 attack, but I still get to deny him all absorb because of his Galvani. Anyway, if I do this, he'll kill a Galvani instead of an engineer, I think. And if I do the opposite, he'll just kill my engineers. So I think I might as well do this. Okay, this cluster bolt is pretty interesting. The Blood Rager, I think, was a cool play because he could have done the same thing, right? Blood Rager and hit my Galvani. But maybe he couldn't do that while also building a wall? No, he could. Instead of these 2 Tarsiers? Is he gonna now realize he should cut the Tarsiers and build a Blood Rager or something? Okay, he wants to pressure me more. That's fine, I guess. So for 6 attack, we're losing 1 engineer and a wall. We get to attack him again. And I guess I'll just build another engineer. I mean, having access to green is, like, certainly an advantage for him. No doubt. But right now, I have, like, 5 or 6 attack, and he's got 2. So it's really, like, his synthesizer is... Since he's turning all of the green from it into cluster bolts, it's sort of like a unit that every 2 turns gives him 4 attack and me 1 attack. So it's like a Tarsier and a half that he got out of his synthesizer, in a way. Oh, Blood Rager now seems very wrong. Because I'm still getting full absorb. Blood Rager's not that good if your opponent gets full absorb still. 6 attack, I'm still losing NG, wall. I don't even need a wall exactly. What if I just do this? The Tarsier is just so slow, it's not really going to do anything. What if I built a Steel Splitter? Can't really do anything good with that. Well, maybe I can just spend some extra money on a Galvani or 2 or NGs or something. Those are good units. I could also try to fit in a conduit just to start force fielding soon. But I don't think I want to do that. I think I'd rather have a wall, a rhino, and like this. I anticipate losing how many engineers this turn? He's attacking for 6, and I don't think he can afford to Blood Rager it away, so... Wall, NG. Which means I need to build 1 more to be able to harvest this one. Okay. Is this wall rhino thing the right idea? It seems good. Like, the wall is obviously not giving me a lot of value now, and it could be a Steel Splitter, I guess. To threaten more? Yeah, maybe that's the idea, is spend $1 extra to get the threat of 1, even though I anticipate that pretty soon I'll be defending onto it. Gets me just a little bit more tempo against him, which is a big problem for him with his Tarsiers. He's gonna have trouble cluster bolting, is what I was gonna say. Like, he has to spend his green mostly on force fields, it seems to me. Oh yeah, I should have thought about that. Anticipated that he was going to attack the Galvani, and therefore I wouldn't lose the NG. I think it's still the right thing to do. That is, build the engineer, but I should have thought about it. Should have realized what was going to happen. And look, I don't even have to attack with all my stuff to make him... Oh, I do, because I can kill Galvani as well as everything else. Yeah. He's getting exploited here, but if I kill Galvani, he's not. If I do this, he gets to keep a Rhino. If I don't do this, he doesn't. And the Galvani doesn't do anything for him, whereas the Rhino does, so we're leaving it alive to kill the Rhino instead. What am I building for defenses now? I'm going to lose all but an engineer. Unless he kills the Galvani, in which case I lose all but two. So what if I just do like this? I'll have at least 2 engineers, possibly 3 if he kills this Galvani. But I don't think he will. I think he wants to kill my Rhino. Oh, he can't. He'll be losing this Rhino. He only has 10 attack. So I'm actually probably losing all these engineers and not the Galvani. To save the Rhino. Which means he can threaten to kill... He can... I don't know which of these 2 I'm supposed to build right now. I don't think I'll have enough energy to harvest 2 Galvanis, so it doesn't make sense to build a second Galvani, and I might as well build another engineer because who knows what will happen. Is Tarsier and a half a good value for synthesizer? I guess it's fine. But if he cluster bolts me now, he has to hold back drones to defend, which is gonna not be a thing that makes him happy. No, I think you have to stop cluster bolting and build force fields if you wanna be okay with your life. Yeah. Oh, I don't think you can pressure me enough. I don't think this is gonna work. I don't think the other line is gonna work either, but it certainly felt better than this one does. He killed my Galvani drone. Oh, of course he did. That makes sense. See, I'm really bad at figuring out whether they're gonna kill, you know. So obviously we don't kill Galvani. We'd rather kill a real drone, thanks. And he's losing an attacker, so it's really only 10, so we get to save this Rhino. And I'll just do this. And I think he's basically toast. I feel good about my Rhinos this game, actually. I feel like I did okay with Galvanis, but I think my Rhino timing was quite good in terms of, like, I didn't build too many Tarsiers. I switched to Rhinos in time, that they, like, arrived exactly when I wanted to start defending with them, and I was able to get value out of them all, right? Sure. So we just do this, and Rhino, and this. Oh, hang on. Nah, I don't have a good game mode. Alright. He gives up. What did the stats on this one look like? Interesting. 1 damage. Economically, it was all very similar until he started defending with drones while I didn't, I think is what this all meant. Let's take a quick look at the replay. I think that he over-invested in tech and, like, okay, sure, there's cluster bolts, and that's a sink for your blue, or for your green, and so there's certainly an excuse for. against an opponent like me, who looks to be going kind of like mono red, or anyway red plus X, Cluster Bolt is a serious, it's a threat to be taken seriously, right? Red does not appreciate being cluster bolted. So there's some argument for doing what he did here. But it's a pretty big investment in green, where the only real payoffs are cluster bolts and force fields. And you're sort of obliged to build some cluster bolts. And I think that the presence of Galvani's sort of favors the red player. I'm not sure about that, but as I've said many times, I'm not like an expert at Galvani's, but it sort of feels to me like kind of like wild drones, right? Where you have to attack your opponent's Galvani's or they get to get gold out of them. But if you do attack your opponent's Galvani's, then they get health out of them, like for the very, very low price of 0, right? If you build a Galvani, harvest it the next turn, and then it is attacked, it was a health that cost you 0, right? Stupendous value. The main drawback to Galvani is if your opponent can kill all of your engineers, denying you any Galvani harvesting value. Or if they can just... Well, I guess it's sort of the same thing, right? If they can prevent you from ever... If they can choose never to attack the Galvani, then it's also a lot worse, because it generates maybe a gold or 2, but then they kill all your engineers, and so it's like not a great value, right? You spent $1 to get $2 2 turns from now, and you never got any health out of it. Sort of what happened to some of his Galvanis. So anyway, but the point is the red player appreciates when the enemy lets off the pressure by attacking a Galvani. I needed to make sure not to go too crazy with the Galvanis to... Here's a thought. Oh yeah, right. I wasn't attacking for 4, I was attacking for 1, so I wouldn't have killed an engineer. Yes, definitely attack Galvani. Anyway, it seems like cluster bolts sort of dislike Galvanis in a way, because they're a unit that you kind of want to attack, but that lets off the pressure, and pressure is what cluster bolts are all about. But maybe I'm wrong, and like cluster bolts just put more pressure on engineers, and that indirectly pressures the Galvanis. Okay, well, fine. So my opponent's first... No. Yeah, I think that this was a big mistake. Like, I don't understand what happened here. Like, he's got this 4 attack. And he... Oh, wait, no. Restart analysis. I think I went too many turns back. Here, right? He's actually got 4 attack. Harvest this. Why doesn't he do this? Deny me absorb, get a Blood Rager. Building 2 Tarsiers first. I don't know, cluster bolt me again. And then he's suddenly attacking me for 4, right? Plus whatever cluster bolts, so actually 8. But 4 permanent attack. Right? It seems a lot more, like, threatening to me. We're attacking for 7. I guess we kill the Galvani, but neither feels great. And now it's like, okay, well, he's going to be attacking for a lot for a long time. I guess we get a Rhino, Galvani. Galvani? So we're kind of like, Galvani NG. Yeah. Something like this. And now, like, he has a lot of attack. He's behind me by 1, but he has cluster bolts. I have a Rhino, but it's pretty close in drones and attack. And he's pressuring, like, next turn, if he wants, he can probably build another Blood Rager if he just like doesn't Cluster Bolt. Tarsiers are not looking great, but he could like Wall, Rhino, Galvani Engie, something like that. I don't know. And because I'll have a Galvani drone available to snipe, he can Blood Rager, denying me any absorb. And like I'm just, I don't know, feeling not so comfortable here. Oh look, thanks Elliot. He did. He put a restart analysis button on this menu for me. Thanks. Anyway, what he actually did, building 2 more Tarsiers, is fine. I mean, Tarsiers are good units, like in some situations. Why not, I guess? Well, I guess he's attacking for 6. No, he's attacking for 4 on this turn. Right. These 4 cluster bolts are on their way in. These are the ones being spent this turn. And the Tarsiers aren't attacking. Yeah. So building the Tarsiers seems okay as well. I think Blood Rager is probably better, but if you Blood Rager, you might not want a Cluster Bolt. But what really baffles me is now building the Blood Rager. I think this is like a wrong-headed, it doesn't make any sense. You are threatening some actual serious trouble for me, like with your 6 attack. And giving 3 of it back to build this attacker is not really worth it. Right, Blood Rager is just, it's an okay unit if it's a great unit if of the 3 attack that you were spending, your opponent was absorbing all of it, right? That's amazing value. It's a good unit if your opponent was absorbing 2 of it, and like you were just killing an engineer, right? It's fine. It's a good unit. If you were killing 2 engineers with that 3 attack, it's like not a good unit. It's better to just build like Rhinos or Tarsiers or something. And if that 3 attack was killing a wall, it's awful. Like yes, you get 2 attack forever, but you spent 3 attack on it this turn. If you just like built 2 Tarsiers instead, you get 2 less attack next turn, but the same amount of attack on all future turns, and you get 3 less attack this turn. So like it's a net less damage than 2 Tarsiers. And the damage you get is slower. It's like really bad. So I think that was a big mistake as well. I don't know if the whole Cluster Bolt plan was a good one. But the Blood Rager plan definitely does not feel good to me. And you can sort of see these Galvanis floating here, which suggests that something went wrong for him. Because he has these Galvanis sitting here doing nothing, not getting gold, and not giving him health. And I'm able to use them to exploit, and like, ugh, it's just a mess. I don't know what he was supposed to do differently, but it feels like he didn't handle his Galvanis very well. If I were better at handling Galvanis, I'd have some better advice for him, but I'm not. So, I don't know, I think that this set seems mostly like just Blood Rager, Tarsier Wall, and of course, Galvani Drone. My opponent said, well, let's try to get Cluster Bolts involved via Synthesizer, which seems like it could be an okay plan. It didn't work out for him, and I'm not sure whether that's because the plan is bad or because he executed it wrong. I saw a few mistakes, but I don't know if they were enough to say that actually whether the plan would have worked if he had played it better or not. And then, like, I don't know, as I said, I feel happy about how I managed the Rhinos this game. Had just enough defense all the time and was able to add in some more attackers. And this Steel Splitter, remember I was like, oh geez, is it really going to be any better than a wall? I was thinking of doing this, and I eventually was like, let's just build the Steel Splitter. It'll threaten some attack, but probably won't actually attack. But no, we attacked with it every turn. So that made a big difference. He was having so much trouble defending that he couldn't really keep attacking. And the Steel Splitter kept him on the back foot. You know, probably would have been okay if I built a wall as well, but why did it take me back to turn 6? Am I? So let's just say I'm trying to learn how the restart analysis button works. Let's say I do this. Right, we go back to his turn 3 and we do a bunch of like dumb stuff. I restart analysis. It takes me to turn 6 again. Okay. So what I feel like would be cool is if the restart analysis button, I described it as like some, previously I talked about this, like if you could change where restart analysis took you to. And I figured out where it is I want it to take me. It's the right before I first clicked on a unit, right? Because I can, like, let's say, click on a unit, do, you know, change some plans for the turn, sort of investigate a different line starting from turn 4. Let's say I'm like, oh, I don't want a drone. That's my weird line, right? And my opponent just builds Gauss cannons. And then like, oh, you know, actually this doesn't look like a very good line. Let's go back to turn 4 and just look at the main game. But instead it takes me to turn 6. So I feel like when you're moving around with just the arrow keys to see what happened in the real game, that should set a new anchor for the restart analysis button, in my opinion. Anyway, sorry, I'm sort of rambling. We're not really talking about anything interesting. And the video's gone on rather long. I hope you guys don't mind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.